Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share a book that changed something inside me. I won't use big words or make promises. I simply want to tell you what happened when I read The Tools by Phil Stutz and Barry Michels. When I picked up this book, I was in a strange phase of my life. I wasn't doing badly. I had everything I always imagined: a good job, relationships that worked, a routine that made me feel safe. Yet I woke up every morning feeling empty. I looked in the mirror and asked myself, is this really everything? Is there something more for me? The truth is, I knew exactly what I should do to feel more alive. I should call that friend that I argued with months ago. I should apply for that position that scared me. Oh, I should start that painting course that I wanted for years. But every day I postponed. I found perfect excuses, as the right moment was never now. One evening, a colleague lent me this book. I opened it without expectations and started reading. The first thing I understood was simple but powerful. The problem is not knowing what to do. The problem is not having a practical way to actually do it. How many times had I understood where my blocks came from? I knew everything about my childhood, my fears, my patterns. But that knowledge never helped me change anything in real life. The authors talk about the comfort zone differently than I heard before. It's not just get out of your comfort zone. It's much more. It's a prison we build for ourselves to avoid any pain or discomfort. And I lived in it for years without knowing. I started looking at my life with new eyes. Every area where I wasn't satisfied was an area where I was avoiding something. I wasn't writing because I avoided the discomfort of the blank page. I wasn't improving relationships because I avoided being vulnerable. I wasn't growing professionally because I avoided a risk of failure. Everything was connected. One phrase from the book stayed with me. Dying without singing your own song is a tragedy. I asked myself, what music inside me am I keeping silent? And why? Then the book taught me something that seemed crazy at first. You can learn to want pain, not as a way to hurt yourself, but understanding that pain is the price for the life we want. If I want the deep relationships, I must accept the risk of being hurt. If I want that career, I must accept the possibility of failing. The first tool I tried is called reversal of desire. It seemed ridiculous. Imagine pain as a cloud and mentally shout, bring it on. But there was a conversation I was postponing for weeks. One evening I tried it. I imagined that cloud of discomfort and moved through it in my mind. The next day, when I met that person, I still felt anxiety, but also new determination. And I had that conversation. It wasn't perfect. It was uncomfortable, exactly as I feared. But when it ended, I felt so light, like I removed a heavy backpack from my shoulders. The problem was solved in 10 minutes of difficult conversation. Another important lesson is about resentment. The authors call it the maze. Someone does something unfair to us and we can't stop thinking about it. We replay the scene in our mind, imagine what we should have said, dream of revenge. Meanwhile, life continues and we stay stuck. I recognized myself completely. I spent hours, sometimes whole days, thinking about things people said or did to me. A colleague's comment, something my mother did, a phrase from my husband. Instead of facing it or letting go, I stayed trapped in the cycle of anger. The active love tool seemed even more crazy. Send love to the person who hurt me. Are you serious? But I tried it. There was a family situation that troubled me for months. Every time I thought about that person, I felt angry. One evening, exhausted from this pain, I closed my eyes and imagined my heart expanding. I imagined sending love to this person, not as an abstract idea, but as a real energy. Something strange happened. In a few minutes, I felt, the anger dissolved, not completely, but enough to breathe. I understood the person acted that way because of their own fears and problems. It wasn't against me. I continued using this tool every time the thought returned, and gradually the resentment disappeared. The external problem didn't magically solve itself, but I was no longer in prison. I was free. The book also helped me understand self expression. How many times did I need to speak in front of people and completely froze? That dry mouth, that mental emptiness where words simply disappear, that feeling of being a fake about to be discovered. The authors talk about the shadow, that part of us we see as unacceptable, weak, not good enough. We spend infinite energy trying to hide it, always showing ourselves as confident and competent. But by hiding the shadow, we also hide our authenticity and our true voice. The inner authority tool taught me something revolutionary. Instead of fighting the shadow, I can work with it. I can call it to my side and use its energy. I tried it before a presentation that terrified me. I imagined my shadow as a figure beside me and said, "You have the courage I don't have. I need you." When the moment came to speak, something was different. The anxiety was there, but also new energy. I had spoke from the heart instead of reciting prepared phrases. It wasn't perfect, but people responded positively. Several people told me it was my most engaging presentation ever. The book also talks about chronic worry, that black cloud of negative thoughts that follows us everywhere. I always worried about everything, our work, health, the future, what others think. My mind was constantly filled with disaster scenarios that mostly never happened. The Grateful Flow tool seemed too simple to work. List things I'm grateful for? Really? But I tried it. I was in traffic, late, stressed. I started mentally listing things I was grateful for: my health, having a car, the sun shining, music on the radio. I included negative things that weren't happening. I wasn't in an accident. I hadn't lost my job. After about 1 minute, something changed. The anxiety reduced. I was still late, but I was also alive, healthy, in an unrepeatable moment. Wasting it in anxiety was a choice. Another fundamental lesson is about consistency. In my life, I started many things: diets, exercise programs, creative projects. They all went well for a while. I got results, felt motivated, and then I stopped. Not because they didn't work, I just stopped. The book introduces part A, that inner voice that wants to sabotage us. Not obviously, but subtly. When things go well, it says, "See, everything is fine now. You don't need to try anymore." When things go badly, it says, "See, it doesn't work. It's useless to continue." The Jeopardy tool scared me at first. Imagining myself on my deathbed seemed so dark. But when I tried it, I understood. I imagined myself old, looking back at my life. I felt deep fear. Not fear of dying, nah, but fear of wasting life, of reaching the end and realizing I spent my days postponing, avoiding, waiting for the right moment that never came. That version of myself was shouting, "Don't waste this moment. This day will never come back." I got up and used one of the tools. It was late, I was tired, but I did it. And the next day, I did it again. Today, after months of practice, my external life hasn't changed dramatically. Same job, same place, same people. I'm not rich or famous, but inside everything is different. Before, when I had a problem, my reaction was, "Why is this happening to me?" Now it's just, okay, there's this problem. Which tool can I use? This change seems small, but it's huge. I stopped being a victim and became an active participant. I'm braver. I face conversations I used to avoid, I make decisions I used to postpone. I express myself when I used to stay silent. I'm more emotionally free. I don't stay stuck in resentment for days. I'm more present and more authentic. I'm not perfect. There are days I forget to use the tools. There are moments I fall into old patterns. But now I have tools to get out. I'm no longer controlled by my emotional reactions. I want to be honest, it's not enough to read this book. The tools must be practiced as regularly, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. But I promise, if you do the work, you will see results. Not necessarily what you expect, but the real results that make a difference in your daily life. The tools gave me something no other book ever gave: practical tools I can use the moment I need them. Not theories to think about, but real techniques to apply. I invite you to read this book, not because it will automatically change your life. That depends on you, but because it will give you tools that work if you use them. It will give you a way to escape the comfort zone prison, and a way to free yourself from resentment, a way to express yourself authentically, a way to escape negative thoughts, and the strength to continue when you want to quit. You're not alone, you're supported, and you have inside you all the power you need to create the life you want. Start today, don't wait for tomorrow. This episode has ended. We hope you enjoyed the topic, and we'll see you soon for another topic that can help us all improve our lives.